The following video describes the methodology to apply the specific genuine Toyota chemical product. Please be advised that the services described and demonstrated are to be applied with a specific genuine Toyota chemical only when it has been diagnosed that the vehicle actually requires service per the conditions described. Genuine Toyota chemical products are imperative to keeping your customer's Toyota a Toyota. If you determine that a vehicle is experiencing drivability issues, such as stalling, pre-ignition, rough idle, and hesitation due to the gradual buildup of carbon deposits in the fuel injectors and combustion chambers, Toyota's pressurized fuel injector cleaner can help. Over time, fuel injectors can develop carbon deposits that can change the fine fuel spray pattern of the fuel injector needed for proper atomization and combustion. This can result in rough idle and hesitation, as well as reduced fuel economy and harmful emissions. The GT Pressurized Fuel Injection Cleaner is applied directly through the fuel rail to quickly remove even the toughest deposits from the fuel injectors and specifically reduce buildup on the intake valves and in the combustion chamber. The Pressurized Fuel Injection Cleaner comes in two sizes, a 7-ounce can of solvent for 4 or 6-cylinder engines, or a 14-ounce can for 8-cylinder engines. The EFI device with hanger and adapter pack has everything you need to perform the service. There is also an EFI system service technician job aid available that lists all the steps in this service and provides a chart to help you determine whether the vehicle you are servicing has a return or return-less fuel delivery system. This video will show you how to perform all the necessary steps for both types of fuel delivery systems. There is also a section detailing procedures for hybrid vehicles as well as the Scion FRS. This service should not be performed on diesel engines. Be sure to wear safety glasses and stay with the vehicle at all times during service. Begin the service with a test drive. This will give you a chance to bring the engine up to operating temperature and evaluate for any general engine condition. Make sure that the oil level is full before performing the service. Use the job aid to determine whether the vehicle's fuel delivery system is return or returnless. Please note the Scion FRS shows returnless, yet uses a direct and port injection system that has a slightly different procedure. We will show you how to complete this service later in this video. For return type systems, you need to use the recirculation adapter from the kit to connect the fuel pump output line to the fuel return line leading to the tank. As the fuel lines are pressurized, wrap a rag around the connections and release slowly to contain the fuel that comes out. Also, select the proper block-off adapter for the return line coming off the EFI rail and set it in place. You do not need to disable the fuel pump. The solvent will be dispersed into the EFI system to run the engine for this service. If you're working on a returnless system, select the appropriate adapter to block off the fuel pump supply line. You do not need to disable the fuel pump. The solvent will be dispersed into the EFI system to run the engine for this service. Hang the tool from a central location on the hood. Make sure the handle on the EFI tool is in the off position and carefully screw the can onto the EFI tool. Using the proper adapter from the kit, connect the EFI tool to the fuel rail feed line. Slowly turn the valve to the open position and check all connections thoroughly for leaks. Now start the engine and again check for leaks at the connections. If the engine has trouble starting, push the accelerator wide open while cranking the ignition. This will pulse the injectors longer to expel any excess air that may have entered the system when you installed the tool. Do not walk away while the engine is running. If the engine stops for any reason during the product application, make sure to recheck all connections before restarting the vehicle. If you're performing the service on a hybrid vehicle, it will need to be in inspection mode to start the engine. Refer to the shop manual for this procedure. Let the engine idle until it stalls. This will take approximately 7 to 10 minutes for larger engines and 10 to 15 minutes for smaller engines. When the application process is complete, close the tool valve and remove the EFI can. Using a shop rag to absorb excess fluid, carefully disconnect all tool connections and reconnect the factory lines. Remember to replace any gasket or seal as well as fuel pump relays and connections if they were disconnected. Then pressurize the system and check for leaks. Start the engine and let the vehicle idle for 4 to 5 minutes. Check one last time for leaks. Finally, take another test drive to make sure everything is running smoothly. The Scion FRS model uses a direct and port injection system that has a slightly different pressurized EFI service procedure. You'll need to run the EFI fuel injector cleaner through the line, feeding the stepper pump as well as the rail injectors. The EFI tool connection point is where the feed line splits from the main fuel line. You will connect only one line at a time using the fuel system line plug to cap the fuel tank line at the connection point. Follow the normal steps to clean the rail injectors, except put the computer in port injection mode. Run the engine for about 5 minutes, then shut the engine off and close the tool valve. Using a rag, undo the connection. Reconnect the rail injector feed and connect the tool to the DI system line feeding the stepper pump. Be sure to carefully cap the fuel tank supply line. Then, set the computer to run in direct injection mode to clean the DI port injectors. Run the engine until it shuts off and finish the service. The pressurized fuel injection cleaner is a useful tool to quickly remove deposits in the fuel injectors and combustion chambers, improving engine performance and efficiency. Genuine Toyota Chemical Products, an efficient and effective resource for your service center.